For this section, we're going to be doing temperature conversions, and we're going to be going from Fahrenheit to Celsius. So I've wrote the equation next to each problem. Degrees in Celsius equals degrees in Fahrenheit minus 32 times 5/9. So I'm going to first plug that number into my equation. So I want to figure out what 80 degrees Fahrenheit is in Celsius. So first I'm going to subtract 32 from 88. So now I have 56 times 5/9. I find that the easiest way to do this is to convert this into a fraction and multiply across. So 56/1 times 5/9. Now I would just multiply across, where it would be 56 times 5 over 1 times 9. So I'm going to figure out what 56 times 5 is. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 5 is 25, plus 3 is 28. So now I have 280, and that'll be over 9. Because 1 times 9 is 9. All right, 9 goes into 9 goes into 28 3 times. 1 left over, bring down my 0. 9 goes into 10 1 time. Now, I want to figure out my answer to the nearest tenth, so I have to find my answer to the hundredth so I can round. Which means I have to find my answer to 2 decimal places. This looks like a repeat. And again a repeat. So 88 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 31.1 degrees Celsius, because I'm going to round this answer to the nearest tenth. I have to find 2 decimal places to be able to do that. All right, moving on to the next one. 54 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to how many degrees Celsius? I'm going to plug that number into my equation. 54 minus 32 times 5/9. So 22/1 times 5/9. So I'm going to do 22 times 5 over 1 times 9. So I already know the bottom's going to be 9. Alright, so let's see how many times 9 goes into 110. 9 goes into 11 1 time. 9 goes into 20 twice. And it looks like this one is going to repeat. So 54 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 12.2 degrees Celsius. Remember, because I only need to round to the nearest tenth place. All right, for this next one I have 112 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to plug that number into my equation. So first we'll do 112 minus 32. 2 minus 2 is 0. 11 minus 3 is 8. Now we're just going to multiply across. No, 1 times 9 is 9. 80 times 5 is going to be 400. All right, 9 goes into 40 4 times. And this one is just going to repeat. So 112 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 44.4 degrees Celsius. All right, moving down to this one, we have 68 degrees Fahrenheit, and we're going to convert that to Celsius. So I'm going to plug my number into my equation. (68) minus 32. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 minus 3. So I have 36 over 1 times 5 over 9. Multiply across. I know my bottom number is going to be 9. Do 36 times 5. 5 times 6 is 30. 5 times 3 is 15. Plus 3 is 18. So I have 180 over 9. 9 goes in 18 twice. It equals 0. So this one, we don't even need to find the decimal places because it's equal to 20. So 68 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 20 degrees Celsius. All right, last two problems here. I have 39 degrees Fahrenheit and I want to change that to Celsius. So I'm going to plug that number into my equation. 39 minus 32 times 5 over 9. So I'm left with 7 times 5 over 9. I'm going to multiply across here. 7 times 5 is 35. 1 times 9 is 9. Nine goes into 35 3 times. (15) minus 7 is 8. Nine goes into 80 8 times. 8 times 9 is 72. I have 8 left over. 9 goes into 80 8 times, so it's going to be a repeating 8. So this one I would round up to 0.9 since the 8 is followed by another 8. So 39 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 3.9 degrees Celsius. All right, last problem. I have 46 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees Fahrenheit. We're going to change that to Celsius. So I'm going to plug that number into my equation. Six minus 2 is 4. 4 minus 3 is 1. So I have 14 over 1 times 5 over 9. I know that that bottom number is going to be 9 multiplying across. So I need to do 14 times 5. 5 times 4 is 20. 5 times 1 is 5. 6, 7. So I'm left with 70 over 9. 9 goes into 70 7 times. 9 times 7 is 63. So I'm left with 7. And this is going to be repeating. So it's 7.77. I'm going to round that up to 7.8. So 46 degrees Celsius, 46 degrees Fahrenheit is equal to 7.8 degrees Celsius. If you want to practice more of these, you can change the numbers on your own and you can check it with an online conversion calculator.